Yes. Hello. Hi, Lunaya. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my IG live. This is my second IG live. Yeah, I'm just gonna play a little bit of music, a little bit of Selena, and just let everyone. Hi, girls in action. I'm gonna let everyone settle in a little bit. Give everyone about 2 minutes or a minute, and then I'll get started. Hello. I'm so excited. Can you guys hear the music? I just came back. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love Selena. I've been watching the series, and it's different, but it's interesting to watch. Okay, so I am waiting for my interviewee. But when she gets here, I'll get started. Okay, she's here. Okay, let me stop the music. So I'm gonna introduce myself. My name is Briana Gonzalez. I am the About Face Fall 2020 intern. And for my project, or for my intern project, I created an infographic that focuses on Latina representation. And that's really why I decided to do an IG Live on Latina representation in the media. And today, I am going to be interviewing Jasmine. She is a Latina youth teen, and she is also an About Face program participant. So, Jasmine, I'm gonna see. Okay, here she comes. Okay. Joining in. Hi, Jasmine.
Hi, Brianna.
How are you today? Can you hear me, or is my connection bad?
I can hear you. I think it might be my connection.
Okay, I'll let you know if like anything stutters
Okay.
or buffers
Yeah.
or anything. How are you today? Are you? This is your first IG live, right?
Yeah, this is my first. I got a request from Aunt. She was looking for Latina teenagers to be in a live, and I kind of just like threw myself, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. But
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to be out of your comfort zone and push yourself. Yeah, the same with me. I was like so nervous, but I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So
yeah.
jumping into more about yourself, could you like tell me a little bit about like your ethnicity, your background, just like you being Latina and stuff like that?
Yeah. So both of my parents are from Mexico. Pretty sure they were both born in Jalisco.
Oh,
They both immigrated here. I'm the youngest sibling, so I think they immigrated before my older sister was born, and she's 23.
oh,
Yeah. So they're both immigrants, and I was born here. I'm 16, so 16 years
yay, that's awesome. Is your family like really big as well?
old. I feel like it's bigger in Mexico, but here in the US, it's definitely like just a few uncles and aunts. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, same with me. Like, I have a lot of family back in Mexico, but that's so fun. Do you like go back and visit them ever, or like not really? Or have you ever been?
Um, Well, I used to live here in the US and then I moved back to Mexico and then I lived there for like until elementary school
Uh-huh.
and then I moved here. So I moved back and forth, but now I think I'm staying here in the US.
Oh, that's so cool. You must be like super fluent in Spanish.
Yeah, I was in school for like 5 years in Mexico, so I was taught in Spanish, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. I want to visit Mexico one day. I've never been. My parents are from there, but I
Mhm.
definitely need to visit soon. Um,
Yeah.
is it fun? Do you like going or?
I haven't gone recently, but when I was younger, I used to say like, "Oh, I would rather be in Mexico instead of here in the U.S." Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow, that's so funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
because
that.
I miss like all my cousins and stuff.
Oh, yeah. And like holidays are so much bigger over there too, right?
Yeah, there's like a lot more traditions. I feel like here's just El Día de los Muertos.
Yeah, yeah. There's like more cultural stuff
Mm-hmm.
there. And jumping more into like you like growing up in Mexico and being Latina, how has like I bet like you were in Mexico sometimes and like you said, how has being Latina impacted like how you see other Latinas in like TV shows or movies or like yeah, how do you feel about that like with having so many Latinas in your life?
Yeah, so when I lived in Mexico, I used to live in Saguayo, Michoacan, and I kind of lived like it wasn't a rich neighborhood. I mean, I was young, I don't really know how to like like I can't say if it was like a rich or a poor neighborhood. I do know that my cousin's grandma, she lived like in a richer community because we used to go to her house for the holidays. And I feel like every time I watched novelas in Mexico, it was always like the rich girl from the rancho narrative, like she owns a lot of land and horses, and like her family's like really rich and she has servants. But I didn't used to live a life like that. So I did kind of feel like my life wasn't really represented in the media.
Yeah, it must be like hard. Yeah, I've heard like a lot of like criticism about novelas, how they're not like really representative of the media, of like
Hmm.
true Latino people, and it must be hard to like relate to someone, especially when like there's nothing that you can relate to them. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, especially because I feel like a lot Mexico people, people in Mexico and just people in Latin America are so diverse. Like it's hard
Hmm.
when they only like portray one type of person.
Yeah, definitely.
And going along with that, like, did you feel represented in the media? Like you said, like there was a lot of like the stories that like novelas portrayed were like different to your own. So did you feel like anywhere else you saw people that looked like you or that had similar experiences to you?
Um, I personally like right now I kind of have like a lighter complexion because we're indoors like all the time and the sun's not out that much. But during the summer and especially in Mexico, I would get like really tan. But in the telenovelas, I would always see like the girls always had like lighter complexions and they were always like white passing. And I feel like my skin tone wasn't represented in the media. And I never like saw anyone that looked like specifically like me, especially when I was younger. Like I feel like I changed a lot since I was younger. Um, but also I feel like the stories that I lived weren't also represented. Like it was always like the hero and the princess narrative, like the guy comes and saves her from like her family or something like that. But I felt like us Latinas were kind of like hardworking and we don't really need a man to come and save us or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of what's portrayed in the novelas is like you said, like the machismo stuff and like always
Hmm.
making like Latinas seem as if they're not like strong or not capable of like
Yeah.
doing stuff. Yeah, definitely. And then you also said how like um Latinas are usually like you've never felt really represented in the media because they were really either like they were really like complected, which I think is like a problem, and I think that we definitely need more accurate representation. And
Yeah.
like you said, you didn't feel like they were represented in media. And like, what do you think are like you went into a little bit, but like any like in the U.S. that you have seen any misconceptions or stereotypes about Latinas that you have seen?
Hmm.
Are there
Um,
any? that like stand out?
Yeah, well, there's definitely like the ones like on TikTok or on YouTube, Instagram, like the spicy Latinas, like we're curvy and all that. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that Latinas, it's like all Latin America, and we all don't just look the same. And a lot of us like aren't like curvy or spicy or have an attitude. And I feel like that's really normalized, like our like spicy attitudes. Um, I feel like another misconception is that like all immigrants are from Mexico, especially in the news. And also some of them are like a lot of people think that everyone crosses the border, but or like they come into a car or like fake identifications, but a lot of the times it's either through asylum or also through visas that have just expired and like, people just don't renew them. And I think people seeing us as like crossing the border and stuff, it kind of feeds into like the criminal and like drug stereotypes. I mean, this also goes for men as well, but
Hmm.
that was just like a misconception that I see often.
Yeah, and I feel like those like the spicy Latinos are like especially popular. I feel like, well, actually, yeah, I feel like they've been like a popular narrative like throughout like the whole like all the time Latinas have been represented in the media.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like it's hurtful because like I don't know about you, but I can't relate to those
Yeah.
stereotypes at all. Like they're so like far fetched. I can't like relate to those. And then you said how like um Latinas or just like all Latinos in general are like by the media represented as like criminals and immigrants, and that can be very hurtful, especially like if your parents are immigrants, like, and but you don't view them as
Hmm.
criminals. I think that's a thing that like should not happen in the media.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like this is mainly like in the news. Like I have seen some movies of like immigrant families like overcoming struggles. There's some shows on Netflix, but like but that's stuff that like you choose to watch, but then there's like stuff like I feel like a large part of America, it's like I live in California where it's like really diverse, and I'm like I feel like people aren't like racist towards Mexicans or stuff like that. But then like I feel like if I were to go live like in a conservative state, I feel like I would see these views more often. But I
Yeah.
think if they saw these movies that like I mentioned of like like the real immigrant narrative, they wouldn't view us that way.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so funny that you bring that up because I'm actually in Texas, which is like
Oh,
notoriously conservative. Like
yeah.
it's like not good. But I live where I grew up. I live like in a very like liberal area, but then I went to college in a very conservative like small town, and I
Yeah.
think like you were right, like when you go into those places like you're shocked, like you don't realize that the
Mhm.
racism still exists until you like actually hear people like it come out of their mouth and like, oh my god, like
Yeah.
how can you actually have those?
Yeah, my cousin, she's going to college in Texas, and I want to ask her like what her experience has been like, but I don't know if she's coming for Christmas.
No, yeah, you should definitely ask her. Texas is so different. I've gone to California and I love it there. It's like so diverse, and like the Mexican culture, spot on.
Yeah.
Where does your cousin go?
Um, I think it's honestly, I don't really know. I don't talk to her that often,
Oh,
but I
okay.
think going there, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you should definitely ask her. That'd be interesting to see how like it compares.
Hmm.
Especially because, well, California does have like border towns, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
but Texas has like a lot, like more land. So there's like a lot of like
Yeah.
common misconceptions from like border security or like build that wall stuff, which is really
Yeah.
damaging, especially like with the political climate as
Yeah.
it now. Um, and what do you hope like we've been talking about like these negative stereotypes and like how hurtful they are, specifically like in the media and of like the Latino immigrant. Like, false narrative. Like, what are you some things that you hope change in the future, or like how do you hope that Latinas or just Latinos in general are like um represented in the media in the future? Like, what would you like to see?
Yeah, I think one of the things I would like to see more of is like Latinas struggling to like find more about their history and their culture, where it comes from. I personally like struggle with that. Like in school, the only like Mexican thing that we learn about I think would be like the Mexican American War. But I feel like um Mexicans and Latino culture is not really taught about in school. And I feel like some people have some like really cool stories about them, like going to their what is it called? Like their indigenous land, not indigenous, but like where their family's from,
Mm-hmm.
going to countries and like trying to find more stuff about themselves. And I feel like this is like these are like cool stories that I wish the media would show us. And like not only what crossing the border looks like, but what getting here looks like, what adapting looks like. Especially because I've had experiences with that, like not knowing how to speak English when I first got here, and also I didn't really like have the same like sense of humor as other people of style. And I feel like it would be cool to see like other people going through the same struggles that I went through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. You were just saying how like a lot of Latinos are not taught about like their history and culture, and I can totally relate to that because I have never like been in like a Mexican American class or like just a Latina class in general, and
Yeah.
it's so sad. But I recently saw, I think it was on TikTok that like there's supposed to, I don't know what state it was. It was like one state. There's like a mandatory by 2022. Like there's gonna be a required in every high school. There's gonna be a required Black,
Hmm.
Indian, and Latino culture class required. So like if students really want to learn about like their ancestry, like they will be able to. And I think that's so cool. Yeah, I really want to take a Mexican American class. And like you said, like your struggles of like coming to the US are like struggles that and like not knowing English are so many things that so many people can relate to. And I feel like it would be very helpful if you turned on your TV and you saw like people
Yeah.
that were going through your same thing and like
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
I feel like if like something that would be like cool to watch a movie about would be like um someone like living in an immigrant home, like from like people coming from China, or people that are fleeing from North Korea, or just like an immigrant home, and seeing how they interact in their home and then with the outside world, how it's different. Like perspectives like that, I feel like are so important and eye opening.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really important. And I've definitely like seen like people call action to like bringing those stories to light. Like the, what was it called? The new Netflix show, the Undocu series. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
Yeah, but it goes through like the stories of undocumented immigrants and like how like their like journey through like being um deported and being like captured by ICE and stuff like that. So I think that's a good step, but definitely like you said, like just like diversifying like the different things would be very helpful because like you said again, like all immigrants are different and they always get portrayed as like negative people or
Mhm.
like you said again, like majority from Mexico, which is not, or like
Yeah.
yeah, not. And like going on the other side of like this the thing, what like more positive side, who are some people that inspire you? Can be Latina or just anyone who inspires you, and like why do they inspire you and stuff like that.
One person that has been gaining like a lot of popularity is the Congresswoman AOC. I've seen like clips of her giving speeches to the Senate, and they're just like so empowering because like a lot of people say she's like the congresswoman of the people, like really cares, like she is so sympathetic, and I feel like she's one of those people that like does her research not just on like the problem, but I feel like she goes out of her way to make sure she gets every perspective, and also kind of like the people that are experiencing the problems, not just like she doesn't really look at generalizations. And also like with COVID, I saw this clip of her saying how like if you're struggling to get food on the table, like we see you. And she was kind of calling like the, I think it was either the elitist or Republican side of Congress, and saying like this is an issue about like human lives. This isn't about like socialism or anything like that. Like people are clearly struggling during this time, and I feel I like that about her. I inspire like to have an impact on people like her. Yeah.
Yeah, AOC is an awesome um like role model, especially for like young girls.
Yeah.
And like you said, like her story is like so raw and like again one of those like perspective stories that like need to be brought to light. And
Mhm.
he really does care about the people. I feel like she's one of like, especially on TikTok, like people always rave about her, and like she's one of the few congresswomen that like really like not only like does she do stuff that's like that shows us she cares, but she literally like says it and like is always like outspoken, especially like on Twitter. She's like so outspoken and so
Oh
inspirational.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, do you follow her
Yeah, I
on Twitter?
follow her on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah, oh my god, I love her tweets. I think I only follow like 20 people on Twitter, and she's like one of them.
Yeah, I'm like big to Twitter, but Bernie Sanders are like two of the politicians that I follow.
Yeah, definitely. And is there anyone else like that inspires you about that's Latina, or like anyone that you've been like listening to recently?